Tuesday on Internet Radio America. It's Beans and Apples. Leaders in Internet media and the American-made movement. You're listening to Internet Radio America.
Can't seem to find...
And now on Internet Radio America, it's the Two-Wheel Meltdown. Mark Pavlica is in the house, and the call-in number today is 617-381-4700. And now, here's Mark.
How's it going, people? That's right, Frank, another edition of the Two-Wheel Meltdown. I'm joined once again this week by Scott Bert from our Arizona office. Scott, how's it going, bud?
It's going great, man. Had a good Christmas. It's 59 degrees out. Got a little riding in at lunchtime today. So, how was your Christmas, Mark?
You're friggin' killing me, man. It's snowing and it's blowing from 3 different directions.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's one thing to get the snow and it's one thing to get the wind, but when you get those swirling winds that you can't even stand out and smoke a cigarette because you can't put your back to the wind, it sucks.
Yeah, well, you look forward to it this spring, though, when you get out, so now's the time to get wrenching on that bike for the winter.
Yeah, I actually got to do that, man. I busted off the bolt that holds the master cylinder on for the rear brakes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I stepped down on the brake pedal, and all of a sudden there was no brakes, and couldn't figure out why, but that was why. It was binding up because it's hanging on an angle. And the best part about it is that's not a through bolt. It goes right into the frame.
Oh, geez. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, so now we get the drill out and the easy out. And if my cheap easy outs don't work, I got to get the good American-made ones from the Snap-on or the Matco guy there, the James got. He's got some sweet ones. Have you seen those?
I haven't seen them yet. You'll have to send me a pic of those. I might need a set myself.
They're awesome, man. I mean, you know the old fluted easy outs where it's just, you know, kind of a spiral deal. Well, this has got a kind of a grabber on it that really locks in, man, and works really good.
Nice.
I'll do that.
Very cool. Very cool. What's on tonight's show tonight? What can we tell America about this evening?
All right. Tonight's show, hey, before I forget, call-in number, people, 617-381-4700. We, last week, I was going to ask the call-in question of the week, and I didn't do that, man. So this week, we're going to start the show off with that. The call-in question is the bike that you loved and lost. If you had a nice bike that maybe it was your first bike, and then you sold it to upgrade to something else. Maybe somebody come and ripped it off, whatever it was. What was the bike that you had that you would love to have back? That's the call-in question for the day. So give us a call if you've got a story to tell us. 617-381-4700. You don't have any of those, do you, Scott?
Oh, I think everything that I've ever owned with 2 wheels I wish I still had today, you know? I think my number one, honestly, would have to be my 97 S1 Lightning. It was Bert's old test bike, actually, when he was working on the XL6 project. And I bought it from him when I was like 18, fresh and young, had 2 wheels, and yeah, I still wish I had that bike now. That was a fun one.
Trade in, trade up, and then you go, damn it, why didn't I keep that thing?
Yep. What about you? What was yours?
Well, probably the only one was the BMW. I could never get the damn thing. Had an electrical problem, could never get it working right, and so finally my uncle said, hey, you need a Harley, here, buy my Harley. So I bought his Harley and sold off the BMW, and now that I'm looking back, I wish I wouldn't have sold it, but that's how it works.
Yeah.
And I'm sure our listeners got plenty of stories, so please, fellas, call in 617-381-4700, and I said fellas again, Scott. Lisa's going to kick my butt. Ladies, gentlemen, everybody
the ladies out there.
Exactly. Yeah. Do not forget the ladies out there. Okay, today's show, we have a rather special guest for the motorcycle industry. Not a special guest for us, or because we see him every day. Well, you don't anymore, but our industry guest today is our very own Bert Baker. He's going to be on about 6:40, and we're going to talk to Bert a little bit. Let the rest of the...
He's always got some good things to say about America and the company, so it'll be good to hear him on here.
Definitely. And your buddy, Jason Hallman. What's Jason all about?
Yeah, Jason, we'll let him get into all the nitty-gritty details, but I've known Jason just about since I've been in this industry, and good guy. He's a Michigan kid, and now he ended up down in Florida, I think Plant City area, if I'm not mistaken, and he's got a little shop down there, and from what it sounds like, it's been doing pretty good, so it'll be exciting to hear from him here in a few minutes. But
we got Jason coming up about 6:10 this evening here, like Scott said, in a few minutes, so we better get moving here. The tech question of the day, I decided to address another question that we get on the phone all the time, which is, what kind of oil do I put in my Baker transmission, or in any transmission for that matter? It's a no-no around here to mention brand names, or at least out and about to mention brand names, because everybody's got their own brand of oil they like to use, and there's a lot of brands out there, and there's a lot of good brands out there. But the basic rule of thumb that we're going to tell you, folks, is make sure it is a GL5 rated gear lube. And what we mean by that is each gear lube has its own rating. The most popular ones are GL1 and GL5, and we would really like you to turn the bottle around to the backside. Somewhere on the backside of the label, it will say the GL rating, and we would like you to use a GL5. Full synthetic if you can. It's not mandatory. We're not going to void your warranty or anything like that. But it's a frequently asked question, and we've got a little bit. I've got a little bit to tell you about it. You got anything to say about the oil before I get going, Scott?
Well, I'm glad you brought this up, because this is probably the number one question we get at the shop, and it's that you use is really important. You don't use crappy oil in your engine, so you don't want to do that in your transmission either. So but GL5, like Mark said, is really what you're looking for.
Yeah, I got cut off for a second there. I don't know what happened, but yeah, make sure it's a GL5. And looks like we got a call coming in. Is that the case? Hello, Two-Wheel Meltdown.
Hey, it's Jason from Cycle Stop USA.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
What's up? How are you?
Good, man. We were just...
Hey, Jason, it's Scott.
What's up, Scott?
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm very well.
Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Just recovering from my my holiday festivities.
All right.
Hey, Jay, if you want to hang on the line here for just a second, we're going through our tech tip of the day, and you might want to hear a little about this as well. We're talking about oil. Everybody always calls up and asks us what kind of oil do we use in our Baker transmission. And the number one thing to remember is to make sure it's a GL5 rating. The reason we like the GL5 rating is because it has a lot of zinc and phosphorus in it, and those are the two things that you really need to, they're what are called anti-wear additives for the gears themselves. I know there's a certain company out there that likes to use a certain oil in all three holes, and that is motor oil. The problem with using a motor oil in a transmission is that it has a very low zinc content, and that does your gears no good. The other thing that normal oil has in it, or motor oil has in it, is detergents to clean the motor out, because there's a lot of things burning in a motor. If a transmission is working properly, there's not a lot burning, or there shouldn't be anything burning, so you don't need any detergents. But moving on, we've got Jason Hallman on. Jason, tell the listeners a little bit about what you do down there and a little bit about the shop in general.
Cool. Well, Cycle Stop USA was something that it was a concept that I had worked on for a couple different years, and I've owned my own motorcycle shop since 2003, and I noticed that I was seeing the same customers for the same things repeatedly, and that it was usually maintenance type things. So what we did was we put a menu together, and on the menu, basically, we tried to make the front of the store look like a corporate-looking entity. And there's a menu, and you order off the menu, and you have a standard oil change, a deluxe oil change, all the way up to an annual service, which is something that we put together that's kind of a halfway in between a 10K and a 5K. It hits all the all the fluids, all the adjustments that come out of adjustments, the annoying things, and we do a safety inspection. So anything you get off the menu, you can do without waiting. So that's nice. Where we developed the company around this menu.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You don't really think about a menu when you come into into a bike shop, but that's a heck of a way to do it, man. But you go above and beyond the normal stuff, right? I mean, you get into deeper detail in the motorcycle, and what else do you do down there?
If you have a Harley Davidson, there's nothing we don't do. I mean, we split cases, we replace crankshafts, rebuild engines any year, going all the way back to, like, say, a knucklehead. We do that regularly. We do Baker DD6 installs, DD7 installs. We do regular dealership-style service. Our company mantra is get in, get out, get back on the road, or so you don't have to wait in line at a dealership. We're very well equipped, and we're very efficient. We keep our inventory very low, and we don't just have bikes sitting around. If you've got a problem, just today we had a guy come in, needed an inner primary bearing. We put a Baker inner primary bearing and transmission seals and everything on the left side of the bike. The guy was here like 3.5 hours, and he was in and out. So I mean, he's pretty happy about that because we don't advertise. We ask our customers if they're not happy to let us know. If they are happy, we ask them to tell everybody. So if you've got a Harley Davidson, there's not anything we don't do. We do the maintenance type things on the metric V-twins, but basically our rule is we stop at tires, brakes, batteries, oil change, and maintenance.
Gotcha. Scott?
Oh, that's really cool. Sounds like you're pretty American-driven. I'm talking about Harleys a lot, and I know you as a friend level, you're pretty passionate about the American, everything we do here in America. So I know you push a lot of American-made products, and tell us a little bit about your thoughts on, why you love this country.
Well, the unfortunate part is being, when you say, what are my thoughts on Made in America, it doesn't mean what I think it should mean. And what I think it should mean is that, we're in a capitalist society, and we have the ability to, we're very driven people, and we have a lot of resources, and we use those resources and capitalize on them. That's what it should mean. And you should be able to produce a product here without any BS and, pay a fair wage to your employees, buy materials at a fair price, all those things, fair market value. I mean, I'm not complaining about what things cost, but that's not what happens. What happens is you have somebody who's very innovative, and they come out with a new product, and the first thing that happens is some Momo takes it and ships it overseas and has a CAD drawing done and has somebody produce it with inferior products, and then they sell it back over here, and they're absolved of any responsibility of, I don't think the laws in this country are set up, and I don't want to get into like a big tangent, but basically I think that things aren't set up over here anymore to protect us as Americans in being innovators. I think it protects the person who's trying to, basically it's thievery. I mean, you call it what it is. You're not, breaking in someone's house and stealing, the food off their table, but in kind of in a roundabout way you are. It's a very passive way to do it, but it's still it's shitty.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. Go ahead, Scott.
No, it's a pretty enlightening perspective. It's the way the economy's going. And everybody talks about such a horrible economy, but there's stuff that we can all do as U.S. citizens to enhance our life in this country. So
you look at all the businesses that have started in recession type in recession type economies. And if you're doing the right thing and you're doing it the right way and you're being creative and you're keeping your overhead at a manageable level, this company was certainly created in probably, definitely in the throes of a horrible economy. And we're paying our bills and keeping our lights on, and we're doing good work, and we've got employees here, and things are good. I think a lot of it has. You look at a guy like Paul Weidman he's very, very upfront about everything that he does being American made, except for the tires, because he likes Metzlers, and those are made in Germany or Brazil. But I really don't think, when I think of good product, I don't disclude Europe from that. I think that they have a lot of, most of us are descendants of that line of thinking, and I think we support each other very well. But it's the Asian markets that, you look at the way this business was during the chopper boom, and you could buy an Ultima transmission for like $300 or $400. I mean, it was garbage. We've all taken those apart. We've all taken those out. We've all had to put something good in its place. And what it does is it kills small businesses, And a guy like Paul that can make everything in-house, God love him, because he does. And I happen to know him very well, and I know that even the materials that he buys, his raw materials, are purchased, with that in mind.
Yeah, that's pretty positive stuff, Paul does take it to heart, and I know, you've done a lot, too, on your own to keep stuff here. I don't know, did you want to talk about anything, you have Cycle Stop. I know you do something that's more maybe for the kids, but it's, I wouldn't put it out of the industry at all. Can you talk about your day life, I should call it?
Well, basically what I did was, and just to give you kind of a little nutshell of what Cycle Stop, why I did what I did. We moved down here to Florida. There's a 12-month riding season. I sold my half of the business to my business partner up in Michigan. He's still doing very, very well. And so we took our concept and we came down to Florida and we started this idea that we want to kind of share it. It's not going to be a franchise. Hopefully in 2013, we've got a couple guys that are kind of looking at wanting to open something similar to what we have. We're gonna try to grow that. But one of the things I needed to prove so that I could show that this worked is that it could work without me here. So I took a job with Pasco County, and I actually run the Auto Academy at Wesley Chapel High School, and I took it over 2 years ago. We had 84 students in the program. We had about 180 apply for it last year. We had 140 in it. This year we had 284 applicants, and we took 144 kids. And we just built a $1.4 million brand new state-of-the-art 6-bay garage that is absolutely breathtaking. We put 2 small hoists, a drive-on hoist that'll handle 14,500 pounds, and we even put a chassis dyno in the ground for these kids. So what I'm trying to do is I came up in a very conventional Detroit industrial arts program. So what I'm trying to do is absolutely rewrite the book on, if we do things the way we've always done it, we're only going to get what we've always got. And what I want kids to understand is that being an automotive professional doesn't mean that you have to be a mechanic. I ran dealerships for a lot of years. For 9 years I was in car dealerships. And every single person I worked with, from the janitor all the way up to the dealer principal, was an automotive professional in one way or another. They thrived, and their families were provided for by an automotive business. To me, that's an automotive professional. That's what quantifies that. So we're creating a system where you can learn everything about the car business. So much of it transfers over to the motorcycle industry. I mean, it really does. The meat and potatoes of it is still, it's still the same kind of customer service type attitude. It's still, learning about cars and mechanical things, and a lot of that will transfer over to the motorcycles. But these kids are getting, complete immersion. Everybody's got a different skill. Some people are really good hands-on. Some people are really good technically. Some people are really good online. And I want those kids to have a place where their natural abilities will shine through, and they can get a job making a decent wage and be a good neighbor and a good American and, provide for their family and add to the greater good of all of us and actually function in society. So
that's awesome, Jason. We're running a little short on time, but you definitely touched on all the bases, man. Not everybody's a good mechanic. Some people are better, handling parts. Some people are better, like service writers per se, and some guys are just better salesmen than others. And it definitely translates over. And Jason, I want to thank you, bud, for coming on. But before we let you go, can we get an email address and a phone number that folks can get a hold of you at?
Yeah, you can reach me at jason@cyclestopusa.com. You can follow me on Twitter at speedmetalbuild. That's my Twitter. And you can catch us at Cycle Stop at 813-754-2959.
Awesome, man. We're going to have to get you back on, buddy, for a little bit longer segment, because I can tell that you got a lot to say that we believe in, too. But I appreciate you coming on tonight, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
See you, Jason.
All right, buddy.
All right, folks, we got to take a break, and we'll be right back with the Two-Wheel Meltdown.
Leaders in Internet media and the American-made movement. You're listening to Internet Radio America.
Can't seem to find the right size wrench? Are you tired of searching for the right tool? Introducing the Loggerhead Bionic Wrench. It's 14 wrenches in one. Any size, just squeeze and turn. The patented design produces a powerful mechanical advantage. Pliers and adjustable wrenches can strip the corners, but that won't stop the Bionic because it grips on all 6 sides. Simply squeeze and turn. American made and a proven winner. No more guessing. Easy to use. Adjusts like a pliers. The Bionic wrench is 14 wrenches in one. Everyone needs one. At home or on the road. With the patented gripping power, the Bionic grips them all. It's a gripping experience. Thousands of uses for the Bionic wrench. Makes a great gift for everyone on your holiday list. 100% American made. Lifetime guarantee.
This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Fuller's Sugar House. Maple syrup, maple candy, and gifts. Go to FullerSugarHouse.com. 100% American made. Tuesday on Internet Radio America. It's Beans and Apples. Sax and Rowdy in the house to talk about New York and Boston. It's the sports. It's the culture. It's the fans. Beans and Apples, a special sports talk show between New York and Boston. 8 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday nights on Internet Radio America. Leaders in Internet media and the American-made movement. You're listening to Internet Radio America. Let's get back to the Two-Wheel Meltdown. Mark Pedlica is in the house.
Yes, I am. And along with me is Scott Leonard from the Arizona office. If we like to call it Baker West, as we have a Baker East and West here on the campus in Hazlet, Michigan as well. But this is the West Coast, and Scott's able to take care of the West Coast people a lot better. We can ship small parts and so on and so forth a lot quicker. So if somebody needs it in in a 1-day shipment type of setting or a 2-day shipment type of setting, they don't have to pay quite as much. And that's part of the idea, and we're gonna grow on that as we go.
Absolutely. So, well, that was good to hear Jason on the show. He had a lot of good things to say.
Definitely. We got to get him back on, man. We got to start doing some longer segments with these guests because they do have a lot to say. And nobody wants to hear our bag of hot wind for the whole hour, so we might as well give somebody else a chance. All right.
Let's hear the voices.
Right. That's the whole thing's about, man. Okay, moving on to the Baker product of the week. My chair just about collapsed on me. I thought I was going to fall over. All right, all fixed, all better. What we're going to talk about today is the clutch options that we have available for you. We've got 3 different clutches. They're for different year groups. The first one we'll talk about is the 9-plate clutch, which is a splined clutch that you would use from like 1990 to 2006, except for the 2006 Dynas. Anything that has a splined main shaft. These come with a 66-tooth ring gear. We like the 66-tooth a lot better than the 102-tooth. For a few reasons, they're just seem to be a little more durable. Wouldn't you say, Scott? Yeah,
absolutely. You know, in 1994, when the motor company came out with the 102-tooth clutch ring gear and the 10-tooth starter pinion, it was fine for that time, but you're dealing with an 80 cubic inch motor. Horsepower and torque wasn't there. So there wasn't a lot of stress on those 2 pieces, and then once the motor started getting bigger, failures started happening. So we stick to the 66 9-tooth combination.
Yeah, buddy. The 9-plate clutch is a direct replacement for your stock Harley-Davidson clutch. We like to say that this thing can handle about 120 foot-pounds of torque. And after that, we would like to see you in our biggest, baddest clutch on the face of the earth, which is the King Kong clutch. It's a 20-plate clutch that will handle about 250 foot-pounds of torque. In other words, if you want to throw it at it, it'll take it. It'll handle it all the way. And these clutch plates were actually come out of a Cadillac, if I remember right. Is that right, Scott?
Yeah, that's based out of an Cadillac automatic transmission. I think it was out of the CTS model. So, pretty common clutch plates, but not very common for motorcycle use. The diameter on them is quite a bit larger than a factory clutch or even our 9-plate. So.
And that's where the strength comes from, is the diameter. And we had to basically, this is as big as you can go in a clutch and still have it fit into a stock application. This thing is just beefy all the way around. We'll supply you with 3 different sets of coil springs. There's a light version, a medium version, and a heavy version. The difference is basically what it'll hold compared to what your hand can handle, and you can mix and match the springs to get the right amount of holding power and the right amount of grip. I know some of you out there have a better grip than others, and some folks have arthritis or something wrong with their hand where they can't work the clutch all the time. Fair enough.
That's right. That's one of the nice things about the King Kong clutch. When we set out to design that clutch, it was a performance-driven clutch. We wanted to make the biggest, baddest clutch on the market with the most holding power. Bring on the torque. We had recently released the torque box. We needed a clutch that could handle the same amount of torque as that, and that's where the King Kong clutch came from. Heavy springs, 250 foot-pounds of continuous torque, bring it on, but like you had just said, if you've got arthritis or hand problems, the King Kong clutch with our light springs actually pulls easier than a stock factory clutch. It's easy to hold in. So we sell a lot of them, to where somebody has a handicapped hand. So.
Best of both worlds. You got the holding power and the ability to pull that clutch in when you can't pull in even a stock clutch. It's a great point, man. Mm-hmm. Both clutches are available right here from us at Baker Drivetrain, or you can get them through our dealers or distributors as usual. You can call myself or Scott or James or Matt, again, at 1-877-640-2004. The third... Go ahead, Scott.
Oh, I was just going to say, that's a great way to reach us if you want to do it by phone. It's 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. Another great avenue to reach us on is actually just using our live chat. We do have a live chat service available on our website as well as our web store. The nice thing about the live chat is you are talking to either one of us. It's either you or me or Matt or James. So you're not you're talking to somebody right here in the U.S. and you're actually talking to one of us four. So it's a direct contact route as well. So.
Yeah, talking to somebody that actually has some experience with the product instead of somebody that we just hired to run the live chat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times that we'll be live chatting with one person and have another phone call in our ear. It gets busy, but we handle it, and we try to take care of you the best we can, and things get busy around here. But we'll do our best. If we can't get to you immediately, we will definitely call you back, and we're not going to wait till 3 hours after you called. As soon as we get off the phone and as soon as we get a chance, man, we're on it. We check our messages, and we get you a call back.
Yeah.
Okay, third.
What?
Go ahead.
Well, there's the third clutch, but before you talk about the third clutch, I want to let everybody know that, our 9-plate Street Performance clutch, is designed as a aftermarket OEM replacement, but one of the things that Mark didn't talk about is the one-piece outer clutch basket and ring gear.
Yes.
The ring gear is not part of the, it's not riveted on like a factory clutch. It's a one piece with the outer basket, which, enhances the clutch and adds a lot of strength to the clutch. So.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Good point, bro. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Third clutch. This is for your old school folks, the shovelhead folks who have assuredly dealt with their tapered main shaft and the key wave failing. The key wave failing was taken care of in 1990 when Harley-Davidson come out with the splined main shaft and the splined clutch. But we now have a splined shovel clutch that will fit right into your stock shovel head, 70 to 84, and a splined main shaft to go ahead with it. You can't use one without the other. They come as a combo pack, or you can buy our main shaft and use somebody else's splined clutch, or however you'd like to do it. But we do offer the combination. We'll get you both pieces, the main shaft and the clutch. And you can upgrade your stock shovel head or custom shovel head or whatever you may have going on to a lot stronger system. Hey, Scott?
Yeah, that's right. Especially these days, now that you have other companies building large shovel head motors and large pan, alternator lower motors and, all these big inch engines that are replica engines, if you want to call them that, where the stock taper and key isn't going to be able to hold, all this power. James has told me stories upon stories of people stripping out, keys in the keyway. So this just, solidifies it and puts it on a modern style splined setup. So it's really slick.
Heck yeah, and you're right. With S&S's introduction of their classic motors, between the knucklehead and the panhead and the shovel head, and they build these things. It's not like it's coming off the line with 40 horses. You can throw a 103 shovel in a bike.
Yeah, it's great power too. Look at what's that? The Indian Larry bike we build at the shop is, like a high compression 106 cubic inch Gates performance motor, and that thing can't even hold on to it,
right.
going down the road. So it's because of the power. So it's the spline setup is definitely the way to go if you're building power, or if if your bike just needs to be updated some. Tapers can get worn out, and you can upgrade to the spline if you do have to replace your main shaft. So, the cool thing too with this is you can really, now that we've released this clutch in our main shaft, we've got the tin-type primary. You can upgrade your shovel head driveline to an Evo style, and in my opinion, I'm a huge fan of shovel head motors, and if you can run an Evo style starter with it, like with our TTP, it's just a great combination to have the spline clutch and main shaft and run an Evo style starter. I mean, that bike is good to go around the world.
Hold on a second, Scott. I think we got a call coming in. You're on the two-wheel meltdown. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, this is Mike from Silver Moon Cranks.
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
Not too much. How you doing?
Good, man. I take it James didn't get back to you, bud.
No, he didn't. I don't know. I'm not too sure what's going on.
Okay. We were actually gonna reschedule you for a time when James was on the show in Houston.
Oh, well, he's stuck in Wisconsin, huh?
Yeah, he's in La Crosse, I do believe. His former hometown. You know the place. And
perfect. Excellent.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you calling, though. You're
actually right on. I'll have to get back with you guys, and it sounds like a lot of fun.
Definitely, man. We'll get with you. I'll have either James or Trish give you a call.
Sounds great.
I think James is coming back tomorrow, so we'll get you rescheduled either next week or the following week, and we're gonna talk some performance with you. Is that not right, Mike?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Cool, man.
Excellent.
Cool.
Sounds good.
We're looking forward to having you on the show for a full segment. It'll be a good opportunity for all of our listeners. So
that would be awesome. Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks a lot, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, take care, Mike. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
All right. Yeah, that's Mike. He's going to be our guest either next week or the following week. And
yeah, he'll be a good guy to have on here. So a lot to learn from him.
Definitely. Continue on about the TTP and upgrading to the modern era.
Yeah, with all these old bikes running around, and God loves a shovel head. We all love shovel heads, and to have a shovel head and ride around on one, you're always working on it. And now that we've come out with all these products, to upgrade them almost to an Evo style and not take away the looks from the traditional shovel head. All these parts we're coming out with are nostalgic looking, and they, modern working. So it's just a great setup.
Definitely. We try to make them look as original as possible, and because we know what it means to people to not just have a good running bike, but a good looking one as well. So we got to get out. We got to take a short break. When we come back, we've got the man himself, Bert Baker, coming up. You're listening to the Two-Wheel Meltdown.
This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Pointer Brand. Pointer Brand jeans, made in America, 100 years in business. Go to pointerbrand.com.
Attention all animal lovers. This is Cynthia Gary, the inventor of Scratch and All. We know all animals love to scratch. Scratch and All is a safe, unique, American-made animal enrichment product that can be mounted flat on a wall or bent over corners. All four sides interlock so you can design a grid tailored specifically to your animal's needs, and it can be a supplement to acupressure. Go to scratchandall.com and take advantage of the celebration bundle. Nearly 11,000 sold. That's the word scratch, the letter N as in Nancy, ALL.com, or call 1-888-9-SCRATCH.
This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Tillytown, proudly selling American-made. Look for a unique place to shop for the perfect gift? Then come visit Tillytown. That's TILLIETOWNE.com. 100% American-made.
Can't seem to find the right size wrench? Are you tired of searching for the right tool? Introducing the Loggerhead Bionic Wrench. It's 14 wrenches in one. Any size, just squeeze and turn. The patented design produces a powerful mechanical advantage. Pliers and adjustable wrenches can strip the corners, but that won't stop the Bionic because it grips on all 6 sides. Simply squeeze and turn. American made and a proven winner. No more guessing. Easy to use. Adjusts like a pliers. The Bionic Wrench is 14 wrenches in one. Everyone needs one. At home or on the road. With the patented gripping power. The Bionic grips them all. It's a gripping experience. Thousands of uses for the Bionic Wrench. Makes a great gift for everyone on your holiday list. 100% American made. Lifetime guarantee.
Leaders in Internet media and the American-made movement. You're listening to Internet Radio America. And now the conclusion to Two-Wheel Meltdown on Internet Radio America.
This is the Two-Wheel Meltdown. Mark P. and Scott Lurd with you. Our boss to call in. I hope Lisa didn't tell him there was no show, and now there's a show, and he forgot.
I don't think he forgot. I think he's right here.
Oh, there he is.
Hey,
Bert, how you doing,
guys,
buddy?
how you doing? Good, man. How
Hey,
about
Bert.
you guys? Hey.
Doing well, doing well.
Hey,
Doing
boss.
well. You bastard, you're out in Phoenix, and you probably don't have a snowstorm right now, do you, Scott?
I lucked out today, and it was 59 degrees, and I guess just so the listeners know, Bert was kind enough to loan me his Road King for a shop truck out here.
Oh,
so
you're killing me.
I had some official business to do today. And,
oh,
yep,
you're
had some
killing me.
official
That's
Baker
awful.
business.
That's awful.
So,
Well, you know what? This great country we live in has all climates, man. There's a little bit for everyone.
that's right.
You know, I personally don't have a problem with the cold weather. I don't care for it, but you know, when it is cold outside, then you stay inside and you take care of projects and you get stuff done, right?
That's right.
That's right. When you guys are riding in the summer, I'm staying in the air conditioning, so.
This is true. This is true. The riding in the summer in Phoenix, I understand it's not something you want to do.
No, it's kind of like riding through an oven.
Yeah, that's what I heard, like the blast furnace thing. So, yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, Mark,
Yeah.
what do you got on your mind, man? Why did you make me put my project aside here to talk to you? What are we doing?
Oh, you're important to the rest of the world, Mr. Baker. It's
Yeah, right. Well, you guys who know me well know the truth, but we'll just pretend that that's true for the next 7 minutes.
all right. That sounds good, man. Well,
All right.
we know you, of course, and that's a given. But the rest of the listening audience doesn't really know you. So tell us a little bit about your role here at Baker Drivetrain.
Yeah. My wife and I, started it in our basement in 96, 97, started Baker Drivetrain. We were transmission engineers at General Motors. We kind of got tired of eating poop sandwiches. They don't taste too good with the peanuts in them and all that. And so we decided to quit our day jobs and roll the dice on this company. Now, so I guess I'm the chief engineer and bottle washer, and Lisa is the house mom. And so I come up with a few ideas here and there, and work with people like Scott, who's with you right now, and Chad and Andy to implement the designs and make them happen. So I guess I'm the chief engineer guy. But, one of the things we decided early on was that we wanted to make our stuff in America, because we live in Michigan. We've seen the ravages of the globalization of the economies, of the world, and we've seen a lot of unemployment and bad times in here, due to, foreign competition. And so That's kind of one of the hallmarks of Baker Drivetrain, is that we make our stuff, we make our products as much as we can in America. And I will tell you, our products are not 100% American-made. They're probably 98%, because the 2% of the content we simply can't purchase in this country anymore. And so I don't know if I answered your question you asked me, but
I think that's a good point.
Exactly. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, I mean, one of the things we could talk about, Bert, your love for America probably, didn't start when you started Baker Drivetrain back in 1998. It probably started, and I'm just guessing, you can let us know, but, when you were working for General Motors and seeing parts, supply chains going overseas and stuff.
Yeah, that's really it. Scott, I started with General Motors in '84. September 17th, 1984 was my first day at a car company. Some of your listeners may remember a car company called Oldsmobile a long time ago. Well, they're no longer part of the landscape of, the American car business. But, I hired in '84, and that was like the beginning of the end for General Motors. In the 50s, 60s, and 70s, General Motors had, 50+% of the American car market, global car market, or both, something like that. And so I started in '84, and I saw that steadily decline from '84 till '98 when, Lisa and I left. And so I think it was maybe 30% or something of, their share of the U.S. market by the time I left. And so I saw that steady decline, large part due to foreign competition. Also, in part due to, complacency, really complacency on the part of General Motors, thinking that they were high and mighty. And so, you two guys know, Mark and Scott, that complacency is something I detest. And, because really complacency means, the boogeyman's hiding around the corner, he's going to get you, and you just don't know it yet.
Ooh. Yeah, he gives us the willies.
Gotta stay on your toes.
Man.
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
No. It's a horror movie with Jamie Lee Curtis, but she's not topless, man. She's it's a bad horror movie, It's bad.
Let's move on to another one of your favorite subjects, Sturgis. We go out to Sturgis every year, and you get in tons of riding time in Sturgis, right? I mean, you've got to have favorite spots you like to ride to, because you get tons of time, right?
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong guy. You're kidding, right? When we go to Sturgis, we work our butts off. It's the other people that are getting drunk and acting stupid and, getting to ride around, Oh, geez, you got Mount Rushmore, you got the Black Hills, you got all kinds of canyons I can't remember, but I'm grateful when I go out to Sturgis just to be able to ride at all. I tell you one thing that I don't like when I go out to Sturgis is they have these grasshoppers or locusts or something. They're about the size of small birds when you're riding along, and they jump up off the hot road and they jump right in your face and they go pow, on your forehead, and it hurts. It hurts. Oh, Mark, was your question serious?
No. I was just trying to touch on the point that folks here that we get to go to Daytona and we get to go to Sturgis and we're having all kinds of fun and partying and carrying on, and they don't realize that it's actually work for us when we're out there.
Yeah, Mark, I look at ourselves as carnies, and think about it. The guy on the Tilt-A-Whirl ride at the county, fair, he's got to sit by the tilt-a-whirl and, smile and laugh at the jokes of everybody, but, and yes, he's at a carnival. Yes, that's true, but he's working, right? And, so when we do go to all the rallies, yes, you hang around, fun people that are having a good time and interesting people, but, it is work for us, and, one of the neatest things about going to Sturgis, though, is it draws a lot of foreign people, and Daytona. Daytona, there's a lot of French and German people, and Sturgis, it is truly a global event. I mean, to a motorcycle rider in Europe, going to Sturgis is like a lifetime dream, right?
Oh yeah,
like for sure. And so, people all over the world celebrate this thing called American motorcycles, which is generally Harley Davidson, but they celebrate this American sport, this American ritual of riding motorcycles, hanging out with fun people, and hopefully doing just enough stuff to generate some good stories, but just enough stuff to stay out of jail.
Exactly. We do a good job of staying out of jail, because we're working and we're staying busy. And we are. You've also been around the country a little bit. I went with you. Scott's went with you. James, doing some seminars and seminar tours, and you've seen a lot of interesting places while you're out and about. Do you know of any places that you would say this is for the motorcycle enthusiast? This is a must-see. You got to see this. Like a Sturgis, is there any other places?
Yeah, sure. The riding the Keys down to Key West is really kind of a spiritual experience. We're from Michigan. We don't have tiki huts everywhere and weird little canals. But that is probably one of the neatest places I've been. One of the weirdest places is a place I went with you, Mark, which is down in New Orleans. That whole area, and not so much from the riding standpoint, but from the people standpoint. And you go down to New Orleans and you talk to the local people. Some of the people you can't really understand what they're saying. They're speaking English, right? They're talking,
some form of it.
You think they're speaking English, but you can't really understand them, maybe till you get a few crawdads and a few beers in you. But, and that's one of the things about riding motorcycles is, it's the ride, but also it's seeing different weird people, and somehow on a motorcycle when you're riding, whether you're riding local in your own state or you're taking off abroad, you meet a lot of cool people. And most people, I would say 90% of the people you run into and they see you riding a motorcycle, it is a conversation starter, even if they have no interest in motorcycles or, a motorcycle way of life. It will be a conversation starter, and a lot of the stuff on TV is kind of stimulated or, it made us, a little more,
more aware.
And, more aware of, hey, we're just motorcycle people having fun. And I enjoy anywhere I go in this great country. And I haven't been to Alaska yet. I want to ride a bike to Alaska, that's kind of like a trek. And
in your free time?
Yeah. In my free time, while I'm not doing nothing, I'm just going to head out there for 3 weeks. Yep. So maybe not in the winter, but right.
Yeah. Maybe we can have Don Wood stop on his way and pick you up, and you guys can ride together.
There you go, man. He's a riding fool, I guess.
Right. Well, boss, before we let you go, man, can you give any sneak peeks out to what 2013 holds for us here at Baker Drivetrain and for our customers?
boy, we're just we're going to continue doing what we're doing. I will give a sneak peek out to a product we're trying to develop, which is a new automatic transmission for the Harley-Davidson aftermarket. We've been working on it for a couple of years, and I feel it may eclipse our biggest product ever, which was the original 6-speed overdrive that we came out with in '98. The neat thing about an automatic is that it could open up many new demographics of riders. You got, of course, people that are physically impaired in some way or another. You got older people. You got people that just don't care to shift a motorcycle because, let's face it, when you're riding a motorcycle down the road, you got to pay attention to a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You got that, you got that 3-legged dog running across the road. You got, the old lady in the 1976 Buick with the 455 trying to run you over. You got cement trucks. You got all this crap, right? All this sensory input, and having to shift the motorcycle is just, two more things, two more things, whatever, that you got to pay attention to. So, what we do at our company is we just try to improve the breed of the species, which is the Harley-Davidson motorcycle. That is our charter. That's why God put us on Earth. We are out to improve the breed, and by gosh, we're going to do it, Mark, aren't we?
Definitely, and we are going to do it. And there you go, folks. You heard it first right here on the Two-Wheel Meltdown and Internet Radio America. The automatic transmission is coming. Scott, you got anything for Bert before we let him go?
No, I know he's a busy man. He's got a pretty big project on his hands, and it looks like it's been coming along pretty well. So we'll let him go. And
thank you. I just turned 50 years old, and I somehow woke up, earlier this year, and I got to go drag racing. So I'm building my 2-wheel drag racer right now. And yes, I got to get back to work. And you kids be good, stay out of jail, and God bless America, brother.
Thanks, Bert.
Have fun, Bert.
All right, peace. Bye.
There it is, folks. Mr. Bert Baker himself giving you a little sneak peek of 2013. I didn't think he was going to talk about that. I was going to nudge him a little bit, but I didn't think he was going to say anything. Did you, Scott?
Yeah, I didn't think you would mention it. No, it's a pretty exciting deal that we have going on, though, and it's pretty advanced for what any two-wheeler's ever seen. So.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because you're in Arizona, you don't get to see the progress day by day. But Chad and Bert are hammering away on it, man, and it's coming along sweet. And we're going to see it actually in the bike here in the next few days, and for the first test ride. So it's really exciting. Yes, it is.
That's very cool.
Folks, we only got a couple minutes left, but if you got any questions for us, you can call us here at 617-351-4700. What did I say? Yes, 617-381-4700. I'm glad I had you along today, man.
Yeah, well, looking out. Yeah. Been a good show, though. We had some good guests. Next week, we haven't quite nailed down everybody yet. Mike, who had called in earlier, might be on, so that will be a pretty exciting show to tune into.
Yeah, yep, and I know we got Skeeter Todd coming up. I just don't have a date for him yet. We do have Gary from Gary's Bakery in Germany. He's coming up on the 9th. That's pretty cool. He's actually going to be here in the States with us. He's going to stop by and see us.
Excellent. He'll be right in the studio.
Yeah, right in the studio. He was excited about it, too. He's, I'm going to be in studio. Yes, you are.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. He's got a lot of passion for American-made products too, and especially him being over in Germany. I mean, he does what he can to stock his shelves with American-made products, so it's pretty exciting.
It is, and he just did a show recently, a biker show, and his booth setup was impressive. I mean, it looked like our setup that we do. It's a dealer show in Cincinnati. Did you get to see the pictures of that?
I did see that. That's attention to detail. It's a nice setup. Very nice setup.
Incredible. So, yeah, we got him coming up on the 9th, January 9th. He will be our industry guest. Again, we got Mike from Silver Moon coming up either next week or the following week. We also have to get Paul from Bare Knuckle Choppers on. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a power outage when he was on, and it cut off part of our interview. So we're going to get him back on very soon.
Excellent.
And get that interview redone. All right, folks. Thank you for joining us. Once again, Scott, thank